The next modulator in the list is the envelope. To demonstrate how this is used to affect a target perimeter, we're going to use the Moog low-pass ladder filter, operating on a synth-generated saw wave, and we will use the envelope to control both the filter cutoff and the emphasis controls simultaneously. Again, the Moog filter is already set up. Let's select the envelope modulator for modulator 1. Like the low-frequency oscillator, the graph here shows real-time information about the modulator and its effect that it will have over the destination target. For the first and second sources, select modulator 1 envelope. The first destination is set to the operator 1 cutoff, and the second is set to the operator 1 emphasis. For information on the term emphasis here is very often referred to as resonance in other filters. We will want the cutoff to reduce over time, and the emphasis to have corresponding increase at the same time. So the sensitivity controls are set accordingly, with -75% for the cutoff and +50 for the emphasis. Firstly, you have a choice of source. This is what is used to determine what triggers the envelope. Your choices are the sound input into nitrous, the output of any of the operators, the sound output from nitrous, and lastly, the sidechain option. When nitrous detects a signal from the source, it will then apply the envelope to the operator. The mode option allows you to determine if it will react to the peak volume or RMS volume of the source. The RMS tends to provide smoother results, whereas the peak option will give you a more widely varying modulation. The sensitivity control is used to control the sound level required to trigger the envelope to start. Of course, you'll have to adapt this to the source being used. Moving down this time, you can see the attack and release controls. To make this easier to see, we can switch on the modulation preview so that it shows either the left or right channel of modulation in the graph in the right-hand side. With the sound triggered from the synth, you can see that the cutoff is being reduced, and also the emphasis is being increased at the same time. This is a common synthesizer technique that produces a filter sweep, but uses the emphasis to compensate for the normal drop in volume, given a more even sound. Increasing the attack value changes how long it takes for the full modulation to occur. You can hear the effect this has on the synth patch. At the moment, you can see from the graph on the right-hand side of the interface that the modulation is snapping back to its original position as soon as the sound level drops. It can be set to move back more gradually by increasing the release value. The depth control works in the same manner of that of the low-frequency oscillator, giving you the control over the strength of the effect directly. We now have a stereo patch loaded into the synthesizer, and this will allow us to take a closer look at the effect that occurs when the LR length is increased. At the default, 100% of the modulation is applied to both the left and right channels equally. Now, with the left-right link reduced, the nitrous will start to apply its modulation on each side of the stereo sound independently.